Switching topics, though, off of Donald Trump, let's get into something a little more meaningful, right? Well, according to new polls, 70% of Republican voters here in the United States, vast majority, 70% actually support the idea put forward last week by Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio Cortez to cap interest rates for credit cards and payday lenders at 15%. 70% of Republicans love this idea put forward by these Democratic socialists. The reason I love this story is because right now you have certain Democratic presidential candidates named Joe Biden who are telling us that we can't move too far to the left, that you're going to scare off the moderate Republicans. You're not going to get any Republicans to your side pushing these far left, crazy anti-corporate ideas. That's what the establishment tells us. That's what the conventional wisdom in D.C. tries to tell us. But it turns out that time after time, in poll after poll, Republicans actually really love these socialist ideas. And it's not just the capping of the credit card interest rates, which as of last week were at almost 22% average. People with good credit are still paying more than 15% on credit cards. People with very poor or no credit who have to go to payday lenders, you're talking about dozens upon dozens of percentage points in interest. I mean, 30, 40, 50 or more in interest on those just because they had no credit. They get trapped in these endless debt cycles for this $9 billion industry. In fact, that $9 billion they make is only off the interest each year. And they're doing better than ever because Trump has gutted the CFPB, and now they're not regulating these people like they had been towards the end of the Obama administration. So they're back. The predatory payday lenders are back, and they're screwing over American citizens. And 70% of Republicans understand that, just like 70% of Republicans understand that credit card companies are doing the exact same thing. But it's not just capping the interest rates here. They support Medicare for all. They support a $15 minimum wage. They support getting money out of politics and overturning Citizens United. They support taking action on climate change. They support renewable energy. They support debt-free or free college. They support all of these things that have been trashed as far-left socialist ideas. Now, to throw a wrench in the works, there's another poll from Gallup that says that only 40% of Americans say that socialism would be good for the United States. 51% say that it would be bad. But the flaw with this Gallup poll is that it's straight up just asking people, would socialism be a good thing or a bad thing for the United States? Once you start breaking that down into individual policies that might be socialism, but if you just say, hey, what about Medicare for all? Do you support that? Guess what? Overwhelming majority of everybody says, yes, I do. I think that's a good idea. Even if you mention afterwards that, well, isn't that kind of socialism? They'll say, oh, well, I guess it is, but I like it. Same thing with Social Security, which also, by the way, a majority of all parties support expanding Social Security. We have socialism in place in the United States today already. So this Gallup poll that says only 40% think it would be a good thing. Yeah, when you ask a misleading question, when you ask about a word, which is socialism, that most people, honest to God, couldn't even define, then yeah, they're probably going to say it's bad. But once you start breaking it down into individual policies, once you divorce those policies from a politician or political party, support for them goes up. Other polls have proven that. When you attach it to a political party, the support does drop a little, not a ton, but it does drop a little. But it shows you that the American public is hungry for policy. And more importantly, they're hungry for policies that most Republicans and even some centrist Democrats would absolutely classify as socialism. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more on The David Pakman Show.